Disclaimer: this is an imaginary story. Please don't relate it with any idol or any other person. It's nothing related to anyone's life. It's pure work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. It's a Notice 7 story. If you are soloist and can't see other members, then this story isn't for you. You are on wrong channel. Watch the story carefully, then comment. Be respectful and don't embarrass yourself. Whatever pics are shown in this story, they all have been broken from Google and Pinterest. The credit for them goes to their real owner. Storyline and voice are mine, so please don't copy that. In a large room, an advocate was announcing the legal custody decision of a 3-year-old child to the Kim and Min brothers, who hated each other deeply and didn't even want to see each other's faces. The eldest brothers of both families, Jin and Yoongi, were sitting on the chair, while their younger brothers stood behind them. June and T stood behind Jin's chair, and Hobie and Cook stood behind Yoongi's chair. The atmosphere was extremely tense because neither side wanted to take custody of the little child. Advocate: other than you people, Minnie has no family left. Jin: I only have 2 brothers and they are standing behind me. Yoongi: stop copying my dialogue. I have nothing to do with this child. Why should I take responsibility for him? Jin: because this child's mother was your mother too. Yoongi: then by that logic, his father was your father too, and his surname is Kim as well. So this child belongs to you. Stood up and looked at the advocate. This child's name is Kim Jimin. Legally, he should go to the Kim family. I'm a Min. I have nothing to do with this child. Turned towards his brother. Let's go, guys. Jin: so what if his surname is Kim Jimin? Half of the blood flowing in his veins belongs to your mother, Mrs. Min. Custody of a child is always given to the mother. By this logic, the child belongs to you. Take him with you and don't even try to contact us again. Looked at his brothers. Let's go, guys. Yoongi: my mother became Mrs. Kim after marrying your father, so this child belongs to you. Jin: but she never changed her surname. That's why this child belongs to you. Advocate: shut up. Minnie belongs to both of you. Both of you will take responsibility of him together. What is all this Kim and Ming nonsense? You are all brothers and Minnie is your younger brother. After her parents' death, he became the responsibility of both of you. June: we are not brothers. Hobie: exactly. Never dare to call us brother again. We have no relationship with them. Advocate: nothing is going to change by shouting. Both of you shared the same parents. It's clearly written in your parents' will that if something happened to them, both of you would raise Minnie together. You would give him everything that he deserved. I understand that both of you hate each other, but you should not forget that this was your parents' last wish. The parents who gave birth to you. Do you not even want to fulfill their final wish? Yoongi: I'm a mafia. There is no one in our house who can take care of this child. We won't be able to raise him properly. It would be better if you hand him over to the Kim family. Jin: I have my own company. We stay busy. Most of the time we remain out of the station because of work. How can we raise Minnie? Advocate, stop making excuses. Both of you will have to take responsibility for Minnie. Hobie, why would we take such a huge responsibility? We can't raise him. Why aren't you understanding? June, and if you can't raise him, send him to an orphanage. T. June Young, what are you saying? Minnie is so little. How can you send him to an orphanage? Cook, orphanage are for orphans. Minnie isn't an orphan. He is. Yunging looked at Cook. Who gave you permission to speak in between? We are talking here, aren't we? June, have you forgotten all your manners? Your hands are talking. We didn't bring you here so that you could speak. If I hear even one more word from your mouth, no one will be worse than me. Remember that. Advocate, aren't you ashamed of saying such things? Even though Minnie has 6 brothers, you are talking about sending him to an orphanage. I never knew that you people could fall so low. Before saying this, did your heart not soften even a little for an innocent 3-year-old child who has just lost his parents? How will he survive in an orphanage? Is there even a little humanity left in your hearts? Or has everything disappeared? He is not a stranger, but your own brother. These little children are more sensible than all of you. At least they know that Minnie is not an orphan. Instead of praising them, you are scolding them. Shame on you. Jin, that's not what June meant. He only wanted to say that we can't take responsibility for him. Advocate, you. They all were arguing when suddenly a tiny little boy with a cute ponytail entered the room directly. He was holding 6 flowers in his tiny hands. He had never met them in real life, but he knew each one of them because his parents had already told him about his 6 brothers. He walked towards T and spoke in his cute broken language. Minnie showed the flower to him. Bear, Minnie, come. T immediately bent down on his knees. Oh, this is for me? Minnie nodded his head vigorously. Yes, Minnie, come, pretty flower bear. T took the flower from his hand. Thank you so much. Minnie gave the cutest eye smile. Minnie, come. Walked towards Cook. Bunny, showed him the flower. Minnie, come, Bunny, pretty flower. Cook bent on his knees and took the flower from his tiny hand. Thank you so much, Minnie. Squeezed his cheeks. Do you know all of us? Minnie nodded his head vigorously. Yes, Minnie know everyone. Cook, but how? We are meeting you for the first time. Minnie, see? Everyone, Mama, Dada. Looked at T. Bear looked at Cook. Bunny walked to June and showed him his flower. Big party. Stood on his tiptoe. Big body should big. Minnie small. Minnie no. Come, pretty flower, big body. June bent down slightly and took the flower from his hand. You don't need to stand on your tiptoes. Minnie ran to Hobie. Oppa! Before Minnie could raise his hand to give him the flower, Hobie himself bent down. Hobie took the flower from his hand. Thank you. Patted his head. Minnie smiled brightly. Minnie, come. Walked to Jin, who was sitting on the chair, and handed him a flower. Pretty flower, pretty Ginny. Jin took the flower from his tiny hand. didn't say anything and simply looked at him. Minnie looked at Yungi and happily walked towards him. Kitty! Yungi, don't you dare to come closer to me. I don't like kids. Stay at least 10 steps away from me. Minnie stopped and looked at him. Kitty, no one pretty flowers. Minnie, flower chat. Took one step forward. Yungi, are you deaf? I told you stay at least 10 steps away from me. Don't you dare to mess with me. I'm a mafia king. Minnie flinched at a step backward. Kitty king, no. Minnie, come. Oti, Minnie, no, come, Kitty king. Minnie quickly ran towards Yungi, placed the flower on the floor near his leg, and slowly started taking step backward while counting. Minnie, 1, 2, 5. Looked here and there. Minnie, no, 10. Jumped multiple times at the same spot. 10. June smiled a little. T elbowed June. Why are you laughing? June, hearing Minnie. T, what did he say? I didn't understand anything. June, to understand his words, you need to have a brain first. T, yeah, you can tease me later. Now tell me what he said that made a monster like you smile. June glared at him. I mean, Yang, my tongue slipped. I didn't mean it. I swear. I'm not lying. Stop giving me that look. I'm scared. June, he said he doesn't know how to count till 10. So he jumped higher and higher in the same place and counted those jumps as 10 steps. T smiled. He's so cute. Cook heard them and laughed. Oh, so that's what he meant. He may not know counting, but look at the brain he used. I'm very impressed. He's already so smart. Minnie, Dadashi, Minnie big family, Minnie no worry, Minnie started counting on his finger on his tiny right hand. Ginny, big body, bear. Counted on the finger on his left hand. Kitty, Oppa, Bunny, Kier, Minnie. Advocate, aren't you even a little ashamed after hearing this? On one side, there is this innocent child who doesn't even know what he has lost at such a young age. He considers all of you his family without even meeting you once, and on the other side, there are all of you talking about sending this innocent child to an orphanage. Fine, you were angry with your parents and unhappy with their marriage, but how can you take out your anger on this innocent child? How can you people be so stone hearted? Just look at his innocent face. He still can't even speak properly, and yet he has already lost his protection of the parents. Can't the six of you raise him together? Yungi, now you are emotional, blackmailing us. Jin, we won't be able to do this. Why can't you understand? Advocate, nobody is asking for your opinion. You are being ordered. When parents are no longer there, the responsibility of the child is given to their relatives, and both of you are Minnie's relatives. From today onwards, all of Minnie's responsibilities will be yours. Yungi, fine. Minnie will stay with us for 6 months and with them for 6 months. Advocate: perhaps you have hearing problem. I said all six of you will raise him together under the same roof. Jin: fine. Tell him to shift into my Kim bungalow. Yungi: why would we shift into your bungalow? All of you can shift into my Min villa. It's bigger than your Kim bungalow. Advocate: stop fighting. Minnie will go neither to Kim bungalow nor to Min villa. He will live in Kim Min mansion with all of you. The house your parents built with so much love for all of you together. Place the key on the table. Here is the key to the mansion. From today onwards, Min Kim mansion will be your new home. Hobby: we are ready to live together for Minnie's sake, but don't misunderstand and think that we have become one. June: Kim and Min brothers can never become one. These people will always remain strangers to us. Hobby: like we are dying to become the part of your family. Jin: enough. Now let's go. Looked at the advocate. Get the mansion cleaned. We will arrive there soon. Left with Kim brothers. Yungi: we will reach there as well. Left with Min brothers. Advocate looked at Minnie and called him softly. Minnie, baby, from now on you will live with all of them in your new home. These six peoples are your family now. If you ever had anything, you can ask any one of them for it without hesitation. They will take care of all your needs. Be a good boy and listen to them. Minnie looked at the advocate. Minnie, good boy. Minnie, listen. Minnie, two ears, but no listen, Minnie. Looked at both of his hands with three fingers on each hand representing his brothers. Fighting, fighting. What Minnie do? Advocate bent down on his knees. You have a point. If they keep fighting among themselves and don't listen to you, then you should make them understand with love or by scolding them. They are all immature, but Minnie is very smart. Gently held both Minnie's hands. Look, these two hands are separate right now, so they keep fighting. Minnie has to become like these thumbs. Gently intertwined Minnie's finger together and held his tiny thumbs, the thumbs that keep everyone's connected and never let them separate. Can you do such a difficult job? Minnie looked at his tiny thumbs. Minnie, Mama say, Minnie brave. Dada say, Minnie smart. Minnie together everyone. No go, Minnie thumb. Said proudly. Advocate gently patted his head. That's the spirit, my boy. Only you can fulfill your parents' unfinished work and their final wish. When adults break the thread of relationship because of their pride and ego, it's often the children who keep those threads tied together with their innocence. Time skipped after a few days. Everyone had shifted into Kim Min mansion, but the entire mansion was divided into two families. They had divided everything among themselves. Both sides cooked separately and ate separately. They had also divided Minnie's responsibilities among themselves. Neither did they come in front of each other, nor did they talk to one another. The bitterness in their hearts remained exactly the same. Minnie had tried countless times to bring them together, but None of them listened to him at the moment. Nobody was home except Tea, Cook, and Minnie. It was already evening. Minnie was hungry. He was asking Tea for food while Tea was searching for snacks for him. Minnie, holding his stomach. Bear, Minnie, tummy, doggy, doggy, mole. Tea, searching for snacks in his side of kitchen. I'm searching for snacks. I think I already ate all the snacks. There is nothing left here. Minnie, Miss Minnie tummy no tasty food. Minnie tummy die. Dramatically let down on the floor. Tea, no, I will do something. I won't let you stay hungry. But what should I do? Minnie sat up and pointed his tiny finger to gather the cooktop. Bear, tasty food, Minnie. Tea looked at the cooktop. You want me to cook for you? Minnie nodded his head vigorously. Yes. Tea, sorry, Minnie, I can't cook. I may burn the whole house down. Jin Hyang never let me enter his precious kitchen, and Jun Hyang isn't allowed there either. Minnie, Miss Minnie tummy no tasty food. Again dramatically fell onto the floor. Minnie tummy die. Holding his stomach tightly. Cook entered the kitchen. What's happening here? Tea looked at Cook. Minnie is hungry, but I don't have any snacks to give him. Minnie sat up immediately. Bunny, bear, no tasty food. Minnie tummy doggy mole. Cook, oh. Tea, do you have snacks? Cook, Hobie Hang is very strict about diet. He already banned all my snacks. Tea, then what will we do now? Minnie dramatically lay down on the floor again. Minnie tummy die. Cook, I can prepare French toast. Tea, you know how to cook? Cook, walk towards the refrigerator. But I'm still learning. I only know how to cook a few things. Yoongi Hang never allowed me to cook anything. Tea, then how did you learn? Cook, by watching Yoongi Hang and the internet. Whenever Yoongi Hang and Hobie Hang were at work, I secretly cooked for myself at home. Tea, you are so brave. I'm scared to even turn on the cooktop. One time I tried and burned my finger. And you know, once Joon Hyang tried to cook rice, and do you know what happened? Cook, the rice got burned. Tea, no, the rice was still undercooked, but somehow the pan in which he was cooking got burned. Cook, really? How's that even possible? Tea, anything is possible when Joon Hyang does something. We are still trying to figure out how he managed to burn the pan instead of the rice remained uncooked. Cook laughed. Joon Hyang is insane. Opened the refrigerator. Oh no, I don't have eggs. Tea, I have eggs. You can use mine. Cook, but how can I take something from you? Tea, Hyangs aren't home right now. Nobody will find out. Cook, you don't know this, but if Yoongi Hang finds out, he won't take long to skin me alive. Tea, is your Yoongi Hang very strict? Cook, extremely strict. He's a mafia after all. He gets angry very quickly, and if someone doesn't listen to him. He can do anything in anger. Even Hobie Hang is scared of him and doesn't speak much in front of him. Won't your Hang get angry? My June Hang is extremely strict too. He's not even a mafia, but he owns a huge cane. He kept threatening to hit me with it over every little thing. Cook and Jin Hang, he seems very sweet. I have seen him preparing so many dishes for you. Chungi Hang clearly says that if we won't eat what he cooks, then we have to go sleep hungry. Whatever he makes, we have to eat it. He doesn't tolerate anyone's tantrums. In this matter, I'm very lucky. Jin Yang always prepares many dishes. No matter what happens, he never lets anyone sleep hungry. Even if you tell him at midnight that you are hungry, he will scold you a lot, but he will still get up and cook for you. Cook. See, I told you Jin Yang is very sweet. At least you have one sweet Yang. Teen looked at him. What do you mean by that? Isn't Hobie Hang sweet? Cook. No. He is a little sweet, but he is also a doctor. No, so he never lets me eat anything from outside. You are lucky you only get a scolding by June Hang. I got scolded by both Yoongi Hang and Hobie Hang. Teen. Who told you? Only June Hang scolds me? When June Hang gets angry, he becomes very scary. Even June Hang doesn't dare to speak in front of him. Jun Hang gets angry very rarely, but whenever he does, he gets nearly angry. Minnie shook both of them. Minnie tummy tonky tonky, bear bunny tonky tonky too. Minnie die. Cook looked at Minnie and smiled. Don't worry, now we have eggs. I will quickly prepare French toast for you. Tea looked at Cook hopefully. Can you prepare some for me too? I promise I won't tell anyone. I'm hungry too. Cook, okay, I will prepare for everyone. I'm hungry too. Tea, I will help you. Minnie stood up actively. Minnie, help Minnie. Bear, tasty food. Placed his tiny finger on his lips. Minnie knows. Che, Ginny, big party, kitty king, Oba. Tea, wow, now Minnie is officially in our team. And with that, Tea and Cook started cooking together while talking to each other. Minnie sat on the kitchen counter watching the French toast being prepared while continuously chatting with both of them. Time skipped after a few weeks. A few weeks passed like this. Tea and Cook had become very good friends by now. They didn't talk to each other in front of their hangs, but the moment their hangs left, they would start talking again. They were of the same age and studying in the same class. Minnie was very happy with both of them. Every evening they cooked something together and had their little parties. The other brothers had also realized one big thing after living together for some time, that they had misunderstood each other a lot. It was the middle of the night and everyone was sleeping in their respective rooms. Yoongi had just returned home. He was about to enter his room When he heard June's panicked voice coming from the balcony, he sounded extremely worried. Jungi tried to ignore it, but he couldn't, and eventually walked towards the balcony. June, talking on the phone. This isn't the right. We had a signed deal. I trusted you so much, and you are doing this to me. Listen to me properly. I will go to the police. I will sue you. Call was disconnected from the other side. Hello, hello, hello. Ah, god damn it. He got the bloody call. Now, what am I supposed to do? If Hyang finds out about this? No, no, no. I have to do something very fast. Jungin. June? June flinched out and turned towards him. Yeah, yeah, Hyang. I was just silent relieved after seeing Yoongi instead of Jin. You called me? Yoongi walked towards him. I did. You sound worried. Is everything alright? June gulped hard. Yeah, everything was all right. Yoongi walked closer to him and wiped away a drop of sweat from his temple. This drop of sweat on your forehead is telling that you are lying. June wiped the sweat from his forehead. Why would I lie? About to leave. Yoongi grabbed his hand and pulled him back. Until you tell me the truth, I won't let you go anywhere. June snatched his hand back. You are no one to tell me that. About to leave again. Yoongi, fine. But you will tell your Hyang, won't you? June turned towards Yoongi in panic. No, no, no. You won't tell anything to Hyang. Yoongi, I will definitely tell him. June, no, you won't. Started shaking in panic. Yoongi observed his condition. Come and sit here. Made him sit on the couch. I won't tell your Hyang anything, but first you have to tell me what is making you so worried. June looked at him. What will you do even if you know? Yoongi, maybe I can help you. June, you can't do anything in this matter. Yoongi, we will find that out after you tell me the whole story. June, I was handling a deal with a luxury hotel. Hyang clearly told me not to take this deal, but I insisted that I could handle it properly. Actually, I have never handled a big deal before. Hyang always handles the deal himself. My work is only to provide him with the data and manage the company's accounts. I'm still learning how business deals are done. I have handled small deals before and succeeded in them as well. I wanted to handle this big deal successfully and show Hyang that I'm ready for big deals now and that he can trust me. The deal went smoothly without any problems, but when it came to the payment, the other party backed out. They only paid half of the amount and took my signature on the documents. Now they are refusing to pay the remaining amount and are claiming that they already made the full payment. As proof, they have the document signed by me. Yoongi, don't you even know that legal documents should never be signed after receiving only half the payment? The legal papers are signed and the deal is closed only after the entire payment has been completed. You signed the legal documents beforehand. How could you do that? Are you a little kid? June, I have only handled small deals where the entire payment is made at once. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to sign. This was my first big deal. Jungi, fine, it was your first big deal, but your eyes were working perfectly, weren't they? Why didn't you read the documents before signing them? June, I was too excited. Everything felt like a dream. Yang has always handled everything alone. I just wanted to prove to him that I can handle big deals too. I wanted to see pride in his eyes for me. Yungi, and in this excitement, you ruined everything. How big was the deal? June, 7 billion won. Yungi pointed his eyes in shock. Are you serious? Does your Yang know about this deal? June slowly shook his head. Are you a fool? You made such a huge deal without your Yang's permission and didn't even think it was important to tell him. June, I wanted to surprise him. Yungi, this isn't a surprise, it's a shock. How is your company going to bear a loss of 350 billion won? Rubbed his temple and started walking around. June, that's exactly what I don't understand. If we don't get the money back, the company will suffer a huge loss. Yang's reputation will be ruined and our shares will fall. I'm such an idiot. What was the need for me to take this deal in the first place? Yungi looked at him. Don't worry, I will help you. June, you can't help me. Even the police can't help me. They have the documents with my signature on them. Nothing can be done now. I ruined everything. Yungi, when things don't work the easy way, sometimes you have to use a different method. By tomorrow, you will receive the full payment. I just need details of the party. June, what are you planning to do? Yungi, the only thing you should care about is getting your money back. Go and sleep peacefully and focus how you are going to surprise your Hang. Leave the rest to me. Left the balcony. Time skipped at next day evening. Just as Yungi had promised, June received the entire payment by afternoon. His happiness knew no bounds. The moment he told Jin about it, Jin was overjoyed and immediately hugged him. Jin hugged June happily. I'm so proud of you. You handled a company that nobody else was able to handle so well. Even the biggest companies and the most experienced people failed to crack this deal, yet you managed to achieve this in your very first attempt. I am really so happy for you. Because of you, our company and all our employees benefited greatly. Keep it up. June smiled. Thank you so much, Yang. I only did what I learned from all of you. Looked towards Yungi, who was standing on the living room balcony. And honestly, I couldn't have done this alone. Someone helped me a lot. If that person hadn't supported me, I would have ruined everything. Whispered a thank you to Yungi. Jin looked at him curiously. Who are you talking about? June looked at Jin. A well wisher. Jin looked towards Yungi standing on the balcony. A well wisher. Minnie came running towards them.
Big Bunty, Ginny, happy, happy. What about Minnie? Big Bunty, no, happy, happy, Minnie.
June smiled and bent down in front of him. Of course, Big Body will make Minnie happy, happy too. Tell me, what do you want? Minnie raised both of his hands excitedly.
Minnie, party, party, yeah.
June, okay, done. We will have a party. Go and get ready. We will go out and have dinner at a hotel. Minnie shook his head vigorously.
Minnie no go hotel. Minnie party yeah. Home sweet home.
Jin ruffled his hair gently. Fine. June ordered food at home and yeah, order a little extra. June, okay, Hang. Minnie raised his tiny hands excitedly.
Yay! Minnie party yeah.
June ordered food for everyone. Tea and Minnie secretly fed cooked food. Later, June personally went to Yunki to thank him. Time skipped after a few days. A few more days passed like this. By now, they had all realized that they didn't hate each other, they simply didn't like each other. Living together had allowed them to see each other's good sides. They finally understood how badly they had misunderstood one another. Even then, because of their egos, they still didn't talk to each other. They all knew what was happening in the house, but none of them wanted to communicate directly. Minnie had become the bridge that connected both families. He was always carrying messages from the Min family to the Kim family and from the Kim family to the Min family. Right now, Hobie was heading somewhere when he noticed T walking on the footpath. T looked exhausted and was drenched in sweat. His heavy school bag was hanging from his shoulder. He stopped near a tree and started breathing heavily. Hobie stopped his car near him and rolled down the window. Hobie, what are you doing here? Your school ended quite a while ago. T looked at Hobie. Hobie, Yang struggled to catch his breath. Hobie, don't speak and get in the car. T, but Yang. Hobie, didn't you hear what I said? Get in the car. T, okay. T silently walked to the passenger seat, whose door Hobie had already opened for him, and sat down. Hobie handed him a bottle of water and T quietly drank it. Hobie handed him his handkerchief and adjusted the AC vents towards him. Here, take this and wipe your sweat. T wiping his face. Thank you, Yang. Hobie started the car. Now tell me, what are you doing here? T, actually, I was going home. Hobie, on foot? T, yeah, I didn't have any money. Hobie, why? Didn't they give you money for transportation? T, no, I got both my transport allowance and pocket money at the very beginning of the every month. Hobie, then what happened? T, actually, I already spent all of the pocket money and transport allowances. I thought that if I told Jun Hyang, he would get angry. So last night I was taking money from Jin Hyang's cupboard when Jun Hyang caught me and said that I wouldn't get any extra pocket money or transport allowance. I would have to walk home from school every day and home is very far away. More dramatically, even my legs refused to continue walking. It's a good thing that you came, otherwise, I would have reached home tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow morning, I would have to walk all way back to school again. Hobie looked at his dramatic expression and thought it to himself. If Cook had been in his place, and Jungi Hang had caught him. His bones would have been broken by now, and I would be applying ointment on his bruises. And why is so dramatic? T noticed Hobie looking at him. I know I'm very cute, but please look at the road while driving. I don't want to end up in a hospital. Hobie slowly shook his head in disbelief. So you try to steal money? T. I didn't steal it. Jinyang himself said that there was extra money in the cupboard and that I could take it if I needed it. It would only be stealing if I never returned it. I was going to put the money back next month as soon as I got my pocket money. Hobie, but you didn't tell anyone before taking it. That's still called stealing. T. If I had told them, they would have gotten angry. Hobie. So you want to keep doing the wrong things and expect them to not get angry? That's not how it works. June didn't scold you without a reason. T. Jinhyang was there to protect me. Besides, Jinhyang only hits me when I make a very big mistake. He said that once I walked home from school, I would understand the value of money and stop misusing it. Hobie, so you did understand? T nodded his head vigorously. Yes, I understood that I should have saved my money. I really couldn't walk anymore. If you hadn't come, I probably would have died. Then Hank would have to come and carry me home. Dramatically led himself across the dashboard. Hobie slowly shook his head. You are so dramatic. Do you want to eat something? The street food here is really delicious. T immediately sat up with his sparkling eyes. Yes, I want to eat. I am really hungry. But cook told me that you are very strict and don't let him eat outside food. Hobie raised an eyebrow. Cook? T mentally slapped himself. I mean, you are a doctor, right? And doctors always tell people not to eat outside food. Cook never talked to me. He was saying it to Minnie, and Minnie told me. Hobie ruffled his hair. Stop making excuses. I know that you and Cook have become best friends. Cook only told you half the story. I don't always stop him from eating outside food. Sometimes I let him eat it too. Stop the car. Come outside. This is Cook's favorite shop. The street food here is the most famous. Tea. But Hyang's? Hobie, don't worry about them. I won't tell anyone anything. Tea. Thank you. Hugged Hobie tightly. Can we take some for Cook and Minnie too, please? Hobie, Cook can have it, but Minnie can't eat this. We will buy fruits for him instant. Tea.
A tea. Mini happy, tasty fruits.
Mimicked Minnie's tiny voice. Hobie lovingly patted his head. You're so cute. Now, let's go. Cook. I'm sorry, Hank. Please don't do this. Chunky, you really love tasting my patience, don't you? You can't digest it when someone treats you with love. You only understand the language of beatings. Don't worry, today you will get enough beatings from me. Picked up the laptop. I brought you this laptop so that you could study, and instant you use it to chat with your friends and play games. Threw it onto the floor with a loud thud. You have no value for money. Threw Cook's PS5 onto the floor and broke it. Bobby fought with me to get you this because you wanted a PS5. Snatched Cook's phone and broke it. Now let's see how you waste your time on these useless things. Grabbed Cook's jaw. Do you even know that the things you have are considered luxuries for many students? Cook, I'm sorry, Hank. Yoongi, sorry? How dare you to hide your result from me? Your courage has grown so much that you even forged my signature. How did you get such poor marks? Cook, I'm sorry. It won't happen again. Yoongi, I won't even let this situation happen again. Unbuckled his belt and wrapped it around his wrist. Cook screamed in panic. I'm sorry. Took a step back. Yoongi, you should have brought about this earlier. Your apology won't work now. Cook screamed, Hobia, Minnie! Fell onto the floor. Yoongi screamed as much as you want. Today there is no one here to save you. Hobie hasn't returned yet and June went out with Minnie. Right now it's just you and me here. Raise the belt. Cook screamed his top of his lungs. Ah! Cook immediately hugged himself tightly and shut his eyes. He heard the loud sound of the belt striking against something, but strangely, he didn't feel any pain. Slowly opening his eyes, he saw Jin standing there holding Yoongi's belt in his hand. Cook quickly wrapped himself around Jin's legs in fear. Cook, save me, Hyung. Jin placed his hand on Cook's hand. I'm here, relax. As long as I'm here, nobody can even touch you. Pulled the belt away and threw it onto the floor. Yoongi, move aside. Cook hugged Jin's legs tightly. No, please don't go. Jin hugged Cook's hand. I'm here, get up. Cook was trembling badly in fear. Jin helped him stand up and stepped in front of Yoongi, completely shielding Cook behind him. Cook tightly held on to Jin's arm. If he was the only person who could save him from Yoongi's anger. Yoongi, don't you dare to interfere in my family matters. Jin, I have no interest in interfering in your family matters. Yoongi, then move out of my way. Jin, perhaps you are forgetting that this house belongs half to me as well, and abuse doesn't happen in my house. Yoongi, what do you think you are to tell me how I should treat my brother? Jin, I may be anything, but you can't touch him. Stop glaring at him and leave. Yoongi remained silent. I said leave. Pushed him away. Yoongi didn't say anything and quietly left the room. The moment he left, Cook tightly hugged Jin. Cook, I'm sorry. Jin hugged him tightly and rubbed his back. It's okay. I'm here. You don't need to be scared. Look, Yoongi has already left. He won't come back. Made him sit on the bed. Sit here. About to leave. Cook quickly wrapped his arms around Jin's waist. Please don't go. I'm scared. He will come back and beat me. He is so scary. Please save me. Jin rubbed his head. He won't come here. Didn't you see? I chased him away. And I'm not going anywhere. I was only going to get some water for you. Cook, I don't want water. Please stay here with me. Jin, I'm here with you. Take a deep breath. Look at me first. Cook shook his head vigorously. No, please don't go. Jin cupped Cook's face and made him look at him. I'm not going anywhere. and leaving you here alone. Trust me, you are completely safe with me. Jin tried his best to make Cook feel safe with him. Cook was crying so hard that he could barely breathe and was trembling badly with fear. Jin encouraged him to do breathing exercises and even did them together with him. After some time, Cook's breathing finally returned to normal. He stopped crying and trembling, but he was still holding tightly onto Jin's waist. He was still very scared and refused to let Jin move away. A few minutes later, Minnie came running there. Minnie,
Bunny, bunny, bunny. Minnie.
Minnie stopped in his track after seeing destroyed room and stepped back outside. June, about to enter the room. Minnie, don't run. What happened? Why did you stop here? Minnie pointed his tiny fingers towards the floor.
Big body. Minnie go room. Minnie no breaky room.
June looked offended. What do you mean? I'm not the only one who breaks things. Minnie,
Big body no lie. Minnie smart. Minnie see. Minnie big tutu eyes. Big body breaky.
June, if things are too big that they break the moment they come into my hands, then how is that my fault? Besides, this is Cook's room. Our room is on the other side. Held Minnie's tiny hand. Come on, let's go there. Minnie,
Minnie no go. Why big body breaky bunny room? Big body bat. Minnie tell Ginny. Ginny scoldy big body.
June, when I already told you that I didn't break anything, then why are you blaming me? Let me check first. Minnie,
Big body go. Minnie no go breaky room. Hobashi Minnie no come breaky things. Breaky things pain Minnie.
June, shh, let me check first. June opened the door and was shocked to see the expensive broken items scattered across the floor. Looking around, he noticed Cook sitting the bed while tightly holding onto Jin's waist. June, what's happening here? Cook flinched hard upon hearing June's voice and held Jin's waist even tighter. Jin gently tried to comfort him. Jin, shh, don't panic. It's June. Relax. June walked towards Jin. Yang, what are you doing here? And what happened to this room? Who broke all this? Looked at Cook. And what happened to him? Why is he shaking? Is he alright? Reached forward to check Cook's temperature. Cook flinched hard. I'm sorry. Jin rubbed Cook's back. Relax, it's June. He won't hurt you. June, what happened to him? Jin looked at June. Yungi was about to hit him, but I stopped him and sent him away. He is very scared. June, oh, looked at the building on the floor. I thought I was the only one who broke things and was strict. Jin, shut up. He's already very scared. Take him to your room. And where is Minnie? June, the moment he saw the broken things in the room, he immediately went outside. He's waiting there. Jin, that's good for him. June, Cook, come with me. Cook, I won't go anywhere. Jin Yang. Jin, he won't do anything. Go with him. I will come there after cleaning this mess. June, take him and stay with him. June picked Cook in his arms and carried him to his room. While Jin started cleaning the room, Minnie slowly entered the room and walked towards Jin. Minnie,
Ginny.
Jin, Minnie, don't come here. Minnie stopped immediately.
Minnie, no, come, breaky things. Minnie, no, pain.
Jin, then go from here. Minnie,
no, come. Ginny, who breaky, big body go out, Minnie.
Jin continued cleaning. Yungi, Minnie,
Kitty King, big body, breaky things now. Kitty King, breaky things too. Big body, Kitty King, come together. Big house, breaky.
dramatically placed his hand on his forehead.
Where Minnie, Ginny, Kitty King, Hubba, big body, pure bunny live?
Jin smiled at his adorably worried expression. Minnie shouldn't worry. I won't let anyone to break this house. If your big body and Kitty King dare you to break it, I will kick both of them out. Now go and play. Minnie
Ati.
ran outside. Time skipped after some time. Hobie and Dee returned home and Minnie informed them about everything that had happened. Cook was stable now and June was staying with him. Dee went to meet Cook while Jin talked with Hobie. Jin, does this happen all the time? Hobie, not always, but sometimes when Hyang loses control over his anger, even worse things happen than this. Jin, so you never try to stop him? Hobie, I tried many times, but he was never willing to listen to me. Once he gets angry, he doesn't listen to anyone. It becomes very difficult to handle him. I don't know how he listened to you. Jin, if he can't control his anger, then he needs to learn how to control it. Cook is still a child. He can't lose control like this. What if I hadn't been home today? Hobie, I know what you are saying, but Jin, no, but I will talk to him. He has to listen to me, and I will make sure he changes this attitude. Minnie angrily walked to the garden where Yungi was sitting.
Kitty King.
Yungi, without looking at him, go away. I don't want to talk to you. Minnie,
no, come here, talk, Kitty King bad, Kitty King pain, bunny, Minnie scold, Kitty King.
Yungi, you will scold me? You are this tiny. I can fit you inside my pocket. Now go away. Minnie looked offended.
Minnie no tiny, Minnie angry, Kitty King tiny, Kitty King no go, Minnie come fast.
Ran back inside the house. After a while, Minnie returned with Jin following behind him. Jin was holding the same belt that Yungi had been about to use on Cook. Jin sent Minnie back inside and sat beside Yungi on the grass and placed the belt on Yungi's lap while showing him his wrist, which had a deep red mark on it. Jin, look carefully at what you almost did. Yungi, who told you to interfere? I didn't hit you on purpose. Jin grabbed Yungi's jaw and turned him towards himself. Look at my hand. If one strike could leave this mark on me, imagine what it would have happened to Cook. He's your brother, not your enemy. Do you even realize what you were about to do? Yungi, you don't know what he did. Jin, it doesn't matter what he did. You have no right to treat him like this. Yungi, so I shouldn't stop him when he does something wrong. He's my brother. Jin, exactly. He is your brother, not your slave. Did you ever sit and talk to him? Try to understand him? Hobie told me you and he spent most of your time outside. Whenever Cook wanted something, you simply brought it for him. But did you ever ask what he actually needed? Instead of understanding him, you filled his heart with fear. Yungi, Fear is necessary. Today he forced my signature. If I don't stop him now, tomorrow he will make even bigger mistakes. Jin, discipline is necessary, but fear and abuse aren't. Children should respect their elders, not fear them. Did you ever wonder why Cook found forging your signature easier than telling you the truth? That means he was more afraid of your reaction than of his mistake. Yungi, no, I trust him. Jin, then show him that trust. You are not as cold hearted as you pretend to be. If you were, you wouldn't have helped June get that payment back. Yungi, shocked. You know about June's deal too? Jin, of course I do. I'm his young. I knew about the deal, the missing payment, and even your help in getting the money back using your mafia power. I knew each and everything. Yungi, then why didn't you stop him? Jin, because sometimes experience teaches better than lectures. I warned him, he wasn't ready. But he wanted to prove himself. I watched over everything from the beginning and trusted him enough to let him learn. Yungi, you risked 700 billion won because you trusted him. Jin, business always involves risk, and yes, I trusted my brother. Yungi, then why did you praise him instead of scolding him? Jin, because that was what he needed to hear. If I had only scolded him, he would have lost confidence in himself. Instead, he learned an unforgettable lesson. Now he will think 100 times before signing documents or rushing into decisions. Younger siblings are like children to us. They will make mistakes. Our job as young is to guide them, correct them, and stand beside them. They should know that no matter how big their mistakes are, we will never abandon them. Their hearts should hold love and respect for us, not fear. Yunki, and both my brothers fear me. I thought strict discipline would make them better people. I only wanted their happiness and bright and secure future. Jin, children are like a spring, Yungi. The harder you push them down, the harder they push back. Discipline is important, but communication is equally important. If they can't talk to you, they will talk to someone else. And I don't think I need to tell you what will happen if they trust others more than their own family. Placed his hand on Yungi's shoulder. You are not a bad hang. You just need to control your anger and listen more. Punishment is sometimes necessary, but it should never leave lifelong scars. You told Cook that he doesn't value things, but look at what you did. You destroyed expensive things in your anger when simply taking them away would have been enough. Anger blinds people and guilt follows afterward. I'm older than you, I'm your hang, and being a hang, I want to give you a precious life advice. Hear me carefully. Whenever you feel your anger getting out of control, walk away for a while moment. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, count backwards, and calm yourself first. Remember three golden rules. Never reply when you are angry. Never make promises when you are happy. Never make decisions when you are sad. Yunking slowly nodded. I will try, but what if he doesn't listen to me? What if he misunderstood me? I don't even know how to talk about these things. Jin, there is no secret formula. Just tell him honestly what is in your heart and listen to what is in his. He's still young, mistakes are normal at this age. Fail means first attempt in learning. Children learn by falling and getting back up again. Your job isn't to stop them from failing, your job is to make sure they know You will be there when they do. Yoongi, and what if I lose him forever? Jin, you won't trust me. Misunderstanding grows in silence. Talk to him before fear turns into distance. Yoongi, and if I fail? Jin, then I'm here. Your hang is with you. You are not alone. Yoongi, thank you. Yoongi wanted to hug Jin but hesitated. Jin noticed and pulled him into a tight hug. The two stepbrothers remained there quietly for a few moments. Who once didn't want to see each other's faces. Now they are hugging each other and helping each other in every possible way. June, Cook, do you even realize what you have done? Cook, I know what I did was very wrong. I shouldn't have forced his signature, but what could I do? I was very scared. The teacher needed the signature, and if I had told Hyungi Hyang the truth, he would have become very angry. Hobby, so you want to keep doing wrong things and expect us to not get angry at you? Weren't your hands shaking while making the false signature? Weren't you scared of what would happen if the truth come out? Cook, I'm sorry. June, Hobby, what are you doing? He's already disturbed enough. He knows he made a mistake. Let me talk to him. Hobby, does he even understand words? How many times have I tried to talk to him? How many times have I explained things to him calmly? Yet, every single time he gets himself into a new problem, he thinks he doesn't need us and can handle everything on his own. He has become as grown up now. Cook, sorry. Hobby, what sorry? Sorry is just a word. It's not an eraser that can erase permanent damage. June, I'm talking to him. Please stay calm. T hugged Hobby's arm tightly. Please don't shout. Cook isn't bad. He only made a mistake. Please forgive him. Hobby, don't take his side. June looked at Cook. Why did your grades become so low? Cook, the new teacher's teaching method is very difficult. I can't understand the way she teaches. Everything has started feeling very difficult to me. June, did you tell your hang about this? Cook shook his head. No, I thought they wouldn't trust me. They would think I'm making excuses. June, why did you think that? Did you ever try talking to them and they refused to trust you? Cook, no. June, so you assumed beforehand that nobody would trust you. Cook, sorry. Hobby, if you don't tell us your problem, how are we supposed to understand what you are getting through? We are not mind readers who can understand everything without being told. June looked at Cook. Recently, I made a very big mistake myself and learned a very important lesson from it. Looked at T. You listen carefully too. Making mistakes isn't the problem. The problem starts when we tell lie after lie to hide that mistake and try to cover it up at any cost. In that process, the mistakes become so big that hiding it becomes impossible. So instead of assuming things, tell the truth. Your hands may get angry, but they will never leave your side. Hobby, June is absolutely right. We work very hard to give you both an easy and comfortable life. We only scold you because we don't want you to repeat the mistakes we made in our own childhood and later regretted. We only want to protect you, not scare you. Jin entered with Yunki. Everyone come outside with me. He locked Yoongi and Cook inside the room so they could finally clear their misunderstandings. Everyone else stood outside the room. Minnie and T sat on the floor waiting for the door to open. Yoongi sat beside Cook on the bed. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have tried to hit you. I should have talked to you first. Cook looked at Yoongi. Please don't say sorry. It was my fault. I should have told you the truth from the beginning. Actually, I can't understand the new teacher's teaching method. My subjects have become very difficult and I can't understand them properly. Trust me, I tried very hard but still couldn't understand anything. Please don't hate me. I won't be able to bear it. Yoongi wiped his tears. I trust you. I can never hate you. I'm sorry that because of me you started thinking like this. Now that you have told me your problem, I will hire a tutor for you. He will teach you according to your pace and understanding. Don't worry. But never ever dare to force signature again. If you ever get stuck in any problem or make any mistake in the future, come directly to me without fear and tell me the truth. I promise I will listen to you and help you solve your problems. I will change myself. I will try my best to listen to all of you and stop forcing my decision on you. Pulled him into a hug. Cook hugged him tightly. I'm sorry, Hyang. I promise I will never let you down. Yoongi, I know, but you are not getting your things back. If you want them back, you will have to learn them. Cook, I will earn them. But Hyang, can I take Joon Hyang's help in his studies? I don't want a tutor. T and I are in same class and he told me that Joon Hyang teaches in the easiest way. So can I? Yoongi, you want June as your tutor? I will talk to him and convince him to teach you. Cook, thank you so much, Hyang. Yoongi, They both talked for a long time and cleared all the misunderstandings between them. After a while, Yoongi opened the door and found everyone standing outside waiting for them. Minnie immediately ran to him and pulled his pants. Minnie,
Kitty King, Donkey Bunny, no pain.
Yoongi crossed his arms. So you are interrogating me? Minnie crossed his tiny arms over his chest.
Yes, Minnie, gate.
Interrogate.
Kitty King.
T. Yoongi Hang, do you know Minnie threw all your belts away while we were with Cook and you were with Jin Hyang? Yoongi, what? Looked at Minnie, who was proudly smiling. You little chick, you dare to throw my belts away. Where did you throw them? Minnie proudly.
Yes, Minnie, go out, bad bells. Now, Kitty King, no, pain, Bunny. Minnie, bye, bad bells. Kitty King, no, come, bad bells.
Yoongi, do you think I can't buy new ones? Minnie,
Kitty King, come, new bells. Minnie, go out, new bells too. Minnie, run fast. Kitty King, no, catch, Minnie.
Jin smiled. Okay, now stop fighting. Yoongi, Cook, did you both sit down and clear your misunderstandings? Cook, yes, Hyang, we talked and sorted out everything. Hobby, good. Yoongi, June, can you teach Cook? June, I don't have any problem with that, but looked at Jin, who gave him a nod. Okay, from tomorrow onwards, I will teach him. Cook, thank you, Jun Hyang. Minnie showed 3 fingers of his right hand.
Ginny, Big Bunny, Bear
showed the 3 fingers of his left hand.
Kitty King, Obba, Bunny, no go.
Joined both his hand together.
Everyone together. Mini big family. Now agi.
Everyone looked at June for translation. June, he said, we shouldn't stay separate. We should all stay together as a one big family. He wanted us to hug each other. Jin, kneel down. Then let's hug each other and start our happy family. Everyone kneeled down on the floor for a group hug because Minnie was too tiny to join properly. Minnie happily squeezed himself between Jin and Yunki and placed his thumb on both of them. Minnie looked at his tiny thumbs.
Mini big family. Happy. Mini thumb.
Cute eye smile. Sometimes the problem is not with people but with their attitudes and the way they see each other. Once the clouds of misunderstandings disappear, the warmth of love shines through and fills the entire family with happiness. Sometimes, what even the wisest and strongest adults fail to achieve, a small child accomplishes with nothing but innocence, love, and a pure heart. After all, children do not see surnames, ego, pride, or old grudges. They only see family, and perhaps that's why when relationships begin to fall apart, it's often their tiny hands that quietly stitch them back together again. Sometimes hatred is not born from reality but from misunderstandings, ego, and the stories we created in our minds about others. A person who once feels like a burden can slowly become the reason a broken family heals again. Relationships don't grow stronger through blood alone, but through love, patience, understanding, and shared pain. When people choose to communicate instead of judge, even the deepest differences can disappear. And sometimes the person we never wanted becomes the person we can never live without. The end. Author's note. That's it for today. I hope you all liked it. It was a requested story for one shot. I hope I didn't disappoint you. Most misunderstandings happen because we prejudge people even before trying to know the truth. Our minds start creating different scenarios, and instead of cleaning up the misunderstanding, we begin believing that those assumptions are true. We often don't even try to communicate or find out what really happened. We just leave the matter unsolved, and that's where misunderstandings slowly turn into hatred. So, before judging someone, at least try to communicate once and learn the truth. I hope you all enjoyed it. We will meet soon with new story. Till then, take care of yourself. Love you all. If you like this story, then please do like, subscribe, share, and comment. I assure you that you will never gonna regret on your decision. Thanks for watching.